What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Hollow Knight Silksong and its price controversy. So this was something that really came out about a week ago, and I saw it die down. The game comes out, and I just beat Chronos the New Dawn, so it's time finally after the YouTube stuff of the day is over. Oh, I'm going into Silksong hard, so we'll do some videos on that later. But no, it died down, and then it started to pick back up again. I saw more about it today, and I thought, we haven't talked about it yet. Let's talk about it. It's an interesting one because this really, it reminds me so much of Baldur's Gate 3, and there's some nuance to it, right? There's, I think for a thing like this, well, what's going on? Well, you're having this pushback to the $20 price point. That's the long and short of it, right? The game was priced at $20. Now, they announced that like a week ago. Okay, again, it's been like a week-long story. And when they announced the price for $20, you sincerely had some people come out to talk about why that was a bad thing. Now, again, there's nuance. You did have a lot of people that came out that understand why they did it, but also said, hey, also this now puts us in a bad spot because, hey, we might have been working on our game 2, 3, 4 years. We need the money. We can't charge $10, $15 for the game when we need, say, $20, $25, $30 for it. And that's kind of the crux of it, right? So where people are actually legitimately getting mad is, how dare you price Silksong at $20? It makes games that are in the similar genre, it makes games in the similar size look lesser than. So if you have a game that's coming out, say, in the next couple months along with Silksong, or it feels samey, or it's just an indie game, right? Say it's made by 10 to 15 people, and they were going to charge $30. There's some of them, not all, but there's some that are legitimately mad that, hey, well, now we're going to look bad, for pricing it at $30. This is a real thing. And it might sound familiar. Why might it sound familiar to you? Well, if you remember Baldur's Gate 3, there was, a sincere backlash to, hey, remember the lines that people were saying, which is, hey, don't expect other AAA games to follow suit and do what Baldur's Gate 3 does. Basically, it's so hard and it's too much to ask for. The quality that you got for Baldur's Gate 3, do not raise your expectations and expect more of other games, because we just factually can't do it. And there's a way of saying that in a calmer way, and it still probably sounds ridiculous to say it, but there was angry responses, and this was bigger, right? Because this was more AAA. This was more like the Pro League, right? You were jumping up a level, and these are people sincerely and legitimately mad at that, and it was just as ridiculous. And really, anything that somebody could say back then can also be applied to now, which is, please stop talking. Again, I saw plenty of indies, and I think it really all got started from, one indie team that was asking, very sincerely, and they were saying, hey, what would you charge for our game? Let me legitimately ask you, we understand Silksong is out, we understand the price, here's our situation, what do you think? What should we charge? Because we can't really get away with charging 5 or 10. That's just unrealistic. But if we come out and say we're 25 or 30, is that going to make us look bad to you? And they were asking people. And I think that came from a place of sincere, hey, we're just judging, we're asking for some opinions. You know what I mean? I think some people took it far, and some people, I think, took it and said, okay, let's legitimately get mad at Silksong. And I think a lot of it is just flat out silly, right? You could say with the Baldur's Gate thing, like Silksong, it's weird with Silksong as well, and it's maybe worse with Silksong because it's so you're arguing to charge more. You're saying, well, they put so much time, so much effort, and the game is so good that you think they should charge 30, 40, 50. So, you're that anti-consumer versus going the other way and saying, okay, let's really analyze these companies and say, how can we make our games cheaper? And how can, and when I say cheaper, I guess I mean, okay, how can you literally produce your games cheaper, but how can you sell them to us cheaper? Look, I'm always going to kind of side with the consumer. I'll understand the companies, I'll understand the business, but look, I want games as low of a price as possible. I love games. I play oh my dear God, $30 to $50 new games a year. I spend a lot of money on them. I mean, yeah, I want them as cheap as can be, okay? That's just factually it. And yeah, I mean, look, when games push it and when games do something very special, you do take a look at the room and you say, okay, well, why can this game do it and why can't others not? Now, like, Hollow Knight does have a specific thing. You know what I mean? Like, Baldur's Gate's probably different in this way. Hollow Knight is a small team, and not just a small team, right? Small team would mean, okay, you have multiple years, and small team would also mean if your last game was successful, you don't have, like, this time or money crunch, and that's kind of the main thing, right? Like, the first game, what did they say? Sold, like, 15 million or something, maybe more, and it was just constant money flowing in. So these are a couple people making Silksong. They're making it for the love of the game, which how often do you hear that, by the way? It's more of a business than a love of doing it. So they're doing it because they love it. They're just making it. They are taking what you would probably consider to be too long, but they're taking a very long time. But guess what? They can, because they're kind of rich. You know, like when one game sells 15 million, and yeah, it only costs them $15, 15 million units, you know, you do the math, and then it's just a few people. The budget's not $200 million. If the budget was $200 million, they would have made some money, but it would be a whole lot closer than they would be swimming in money in their current situation. And that's not to say like, oh, well, they're living in mansions, they're having all this fun. It gives them the time to do what they want. And it also gives them the opportunity to not charge $50 for Hollow Knight Silksong, right? So I do get it. Like, it is a special situation. Not every developer can do it. My advice, by the way, not that people are coming to me, okay, but you literally just have to focus on you. I mean, it's such a cliche and easy thing to say, but I would say it to like those AAA, like the Baldur's Gate stuff where, okay, firstly, just stop talking, right? The people that are saying, oh, well, you can't expect this of us just because Baldur's Gate did it. Number one, stop, because you're only going to make it worse. Number two, just focus on what you're doing. Make the best possible game you can make. And then, I mean, you got to find ways. I think if the argument is like the whole, well, it costs too much to make it, so we have to charge so much. Okay, number one, again, make it the best possible version you can make. That solves like 80% of issues. And it's the same thing really for these indies, right? They say, we've been working on it 5 years and we have a bigger team, let's say, than Silksong. We need money. Like it can't come out at $20, so we need to charge it for 30. Okay, the first thing you do is maybe not even vent that. I don't know if that's really necessary, but the most important thing is to just make the game as good as possible. And I know it's cliche, but just make the game as good as you can and put it out there. And I mean, I always talk about it. I would pay hundreds of dollars. It's tough because it's like time manipulation. I would pay hundreds to play Life is Strange. Life is Strange cost me, what, $20-$25 back in the day because you could buy like the season pass. I bought Life is Strange for whatever that was back in 2015. I would pay thousands, to be honest with you, to experience that for the first time. Again, I know like it's a little bit different because I know about it and, I get it. But I mean, think about, and I've said that out loud in multiple videos, and I feel like it's a good point. Think about your favorite games literally of all time. You would definitely pay more than the market value for it, would you not? If a game came out, it's your, not just game of the year, it's a game you love, like Sly Cooper, right? I always talk about Sly, I always talk about Life is Strange, Kingdom Hearts. I would pay hundreds to play those games. Looking back, I do understand, like, yeah, maybe you wouldn't buy them immediately for that price, but I think that solves most of the problem. Just make the best game possible. Don't worry about Hollow Knight. Don't worry about the game itself, and don't worry about how much they're charging for it. Focus on your own thing. And then if you do want to solve the whole money thing, I understand Hollow Knight is in a specific situation, but like look around at what you can do. It's probably not as easy for indies versus like AAA. AAA, I feel like it's just don't take as long. Make smaller teams, make smaller games, make a game in 3 years instead of 5 years. You just saved what, 30-40% of the budget? Now you can maybe sell it for less, or you don't have to have it sell as many units to make your money back. It's that easy. It's really not all that complex. I do understand it's harder for like a team of 6 people, right? Definitely harder for them to do it. But I just don't think it's a good look to throw around these accusations of like, hey, well, don't expect this from us. And, it's a different kind of thing. For Hollow Knight, it's, hey, well, don't expect us to come in at the same price. All right, well, you probably shouldn't talk about that. Like, probably don't compare game prices, especially to kind of a legend that is Hollow Knight. Leave it alone. Focus on yourself and charge whatever you want for it. For Baldur's Gate, it was the quality. For Baldur's Gate, it was don't expect the same kind of quality. That's insane to expect. And it's like, well, is it? Like, why can they do it and others can't? They come up with excuses. It might actually just be talent level. And you had some people that were maybe too insecure to actually say that quiet part out loud. That was a little bit different, but it was still this kind of venting that was very unnecessary. You didn't have to do that. And you also just don't have to kind of go after these. It's not a good look. It's not a good look to go after Baldur's Gate 3 in that way. It's a pretty stupid way to go after it. Same thing for Silksong. If you want to go after it, I guess, but like you could probably choose better things than this. This is a pretty obnoxious way. It makes you look bad. It makes you look tone deaf. And same thing for Baldur's Gate. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and hope to see you all on the next one.